speak at this volume, can everyone hear in the back? So the microphone is appropriate. Thank you. So here we have the Sunday of the Last Judgment, also called Meet Fair Sunday or Meet Farewell Sunday. So we're to work hard to not eat the meat the rest of the time. But the most important thing is the judgment that Jesus talks about today. When he speaks of the judgment, he sees all people who live in the world as being from him. And we know that this is true, because it says in the Bible that the Son is the likeness of God, the likeness itself, and that all human beings were made like the Son. So he is the image that's in all of our hearts. When we serve each other, we serve the image of Christ, the icon of Christ. This is the great judgment. How did we love, and whom did we love, and how long did we love? How did we love? Did we love with our heart? Did we give? And when we gave the gifts to other people who were in need, did they realize we did it joyfully, happily, spontaneously, and didn't expect anything back? When we gave the gifts we give, did the people feel inspired by what we gave them? Or were they humbled by how we gave it to them? When we gave them gifts, were we on the same level as them? Could they sense in our hearts that we could be in need as well? Or did we do it like a boss or someone over them? When we give, my brothers and sisters, we must be lower than the one we give the gifts to, so that they will be able to look down on us and look up at God and have no feeling that they're inferior or superior to us, because our gifts have to come from God. And then, how did we love? How long do we love? Is it just that we give something now because we have extra, and then later on we forget the person that we gave them to? Love has to be forever, and it has to continue. One gift is just the beginning of me loving that person forever. In our lives, we don't just meet people to cross their paths. We meet people to greet God. And in that greeting, we have them forever. One of my professors at seminary said, each person we meet is God's eternal companion for us. If we thought more in those terms, in those ways, we would be very careful when we were with each other to look one another in the eye, to stay longer and listen to a conversation, to be always available when they had need, because God brought them into our lives. We don't know where that meaning will lead in the future to ourselves. So we must know how long we can love as well in the Last Judgment. And in this Last Judgment, Jesus doesn't talk about how much we know, or how many people who are important we know, or what responsibilities in the world we necessarily have. He only looks at us and asks, when you saw your hungry neighbor, did you give him food? When he was thirsty, did you give him drink? When he was a stranger, did you welcome him? When he was in prison, did you visit him? When he was sick, did you visit him? And I was thinking so much about Jesus Christ when I thought of this, because wasn't our Lord himself the one who they put on the cross? He was the stranger who before that reached out his hands and he healed all the people that were there saying, "Crucify him." And he didn't have anyone there. Even his apostles had been afraid, so they left. And that was his mother and St. John, the youngest apostle, was there, but in the background. So who was the stranger? It was Jesus. Who is the hungry one? Famished, beaten, mocked. He had no food. Who is the thirsty one? It was Jesus. Because they had to take a sponge and put vinegar in it in order to give him just some vinegar to ease the pain when he was on the cross. And he didn't even take that. He remained the thirsty one. He remained the hungry one. And wasn't Jesus the one who is sick? Because he had no power on the cross. His hands were nailed to the beams. His feet were tied together and nailed to the center beam. He was sick. And then the centurion took the sword and pierced his side, and out came blood and water. There was nothing left of him. The doctors would say he was full of that edema. All of the water and all the fluids flowed from that body. And so who was sick if our Jesus was not sick? And then who was in prison? Jesus was in prison, imprisoned by two powerful forces, the political forces of Rome and the religious forces of the Jews. He was in prison of the Sanhedrin. That's interesting. All of the sicknesses that he talked about today, he was the one who needed our love. And when we see every one of us, we should always be seeing Jesus. Sick, hungry, thirsty, naked, betrayed. And if we help each other, we'll be just like the murmuring women and Joseph of Arimathea, who took him from the cross and dressed his wound and put him with the linen cloths in the tomb. And with all that new fresh linen on him, having been taken care of, he rose again on the third day. He rose again because he had been loved before that by all those who took care of him. I think all of us together, we will rise if someone will rise for us to take care of us. We will have energy and inspiration to do God's will if we know that people love us. There's nothing we can do when people are behind us and in front of us and beside us and holding us. Isn't that true? This is how we could live. There was once a story I heard about Mother Teresa. There was a famous journalist in Britain. His name was Malcolm Muggeridge. You may have heard of him. He brought a crew from the British broadcasting companies to film all that she was doing in Calcutta, India, for the indigent people and the people that had no home, the old people and the babies. And it was a beautiful day in that city. The sun was shining. It was just gorgeous and clear and warm without being humid. And he said to his camera crew, take a picture on the outside, because in the inside of the building were all the sick and the hungry and the thirsty and the stranger people that she collected. And there was no light in the building. There was no lighting to be able to take pictures there. But she said, because she was strong in her faith, I don't want you to take pictures of the garden. I want you to take pictures of my loved ones in the building. And he said, well, we can't do that. It won't take, the picture won't take. There's not enough light. And then she said, we'll take pictures on the outside, but then you have to take them on the inside, no matter what. but the pictures they took on the inside where there was no light, where there was the dusty smell of dying, was all light. In fact, the most precise and detailed light the experienced cameraman had ever seen. Because where there are people in need, there's Jesus. No big surprise. Then I want to say one thing more. Judgment for a Christian then shouldn't be a surprise. It should be a joy. I was saying the other day here, I've been here a whole week, everybody. I love it. I might come tomorrow and give another sermon. I love being with you. But I said this. In the last book of the Bible, in the book of Revelations, it said, "Even so, come Lord Jesus." Because as Christians, we're waiting for Him to come. We're not afraid of Him to come. We're waiting. Why? Because if all of our lives we serve people the way I talked about today, then we're going to be just like Christ. Our heart is going to be like Him. I said this to the young adults yesterday. If we have the right attitudes, we'll develop a spiritual aptitude. If we have a spiritual aptitude, we will ascend in a spiritual latitude and longitude and altitude. We'll go higher. And this is the case. So when we realize what this judgment is, if we have been taking care of each other every day, then on the second and glorious day of Christ's coming, we will be expecting the reward that we've been looking for, the completion of our lives. And we won't be afraid. We'll embrace the love of God, and we'll see Him in all His glory. And the struggles and the crosses that we bore to help our neighbor will be turned into all the glory that we could ever imagine. St. Paul says, "Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, what await those who love God."